Dave Lorenz along with Michelle Benash on the Travel Michigan radio program for another week. And Michelle, where are we headed to next?
We are headed to Detroit, but we're talking about one of my favorite topics, as you know, Michigan microbrews. We are talking with Scott Graham, Executive Director of the Michigan Brewers Guild. And Scott, you guys have the Detroit Fall Beer Festival coming up this coming weekend, but there's so much going on with the state with Michigan microbrews.
Oh, yeah, things are really rolling along, and we do have our 4th annual Detroit Fall Beer Festival this coming weekend, and that's one of 4 festivals we produce annually throughout the year. So we have 2 in the fall, this one, and 1 in September, which is in Marquette. Mm-hmm. And then we have our Summer Beer Festival in Ypsilanti and our Winter Beer Festival in Comstock Park, just north of Grand Rapids.
So if you've never been to one of these beer festivals, what happens at the beer festival? It's got to be more than just drinking beer.
Oh, yeah. It's the entertainment truly is the beer, but the festival is all about sampling beers, and it's a great showcase for the fantastic breweries we have here in Michigan and their beer. So it's all about sampling the beers. There's way more than any person could try in a day, so we pour small 3-ounce samples. And there are many breweries there. We're expecting more than 50 at the Detroit Festival, and they'll bring numerous samples with them. So it's just a great way to sample fresh local beer, whether you're an experienced aficionado or if you're just getting your, I would say, feet wet, but maybe your tongue wet with craft beer.
Well, and a lot of times they do special releases at these, correct?
Oh, yeah, there'll be special releases. Some things are kind of timed and don't last long, and brewers will bring some things that they maybe have saved up or have been aging or brewed special. So they really like to bring something fun and different and new if they have it, knowing that there'll be a lot of people that are looking for that at the festival.
Scott, you mentioned kind of fresh, locally made beer. I mean, does it really, truly make a difference to when beer's made? I just kind of, assumed that there'd be preservatives in them and they could last for a long time like wine. Isn't that not the case with beer?
Not at all. These products are very natural, and most beer is best closest to the brewery.
Huh.
There are some beers that have the ability to age with grace, but that is more the exception than the norm. So really beer is meant to be consumed fresh, and it's perishable. It doesn't die instantly if it goes from hot to cold or something like that, but it's gradually going to lose its flavor and crispness over time, depending on how it's been treated both in production and in storage after it's produced.
So I should throw out that Goebbels from my high school graduation party.
Yeah, I would, and if you're going to save beer, I like to save an empty bottle. That way I get to drink it and enjoy it while it's fresh.
That's a good way to do it, I suppose.
If you're going to save the bottle. If you're going to save beer, I'm just, I don't know, a beer museum doesn't really quite work in my mind.
Yeah. Well, the Detroit Fall Beer Festival is coming up this coming weekend, Friday and Saturday. I know the tickets are gone for Friday, but there might be a few.
No, for Saturday.
Oh, for Saturday.
And Friday is going fast, too.
Oh, I see. Okay. So there might still be a chance to try to get those tickets. Now, where's the event being held?
It's at the north end of the Eastern Market, so right in Detroit at the historic Eastern Market site.
Oh, what a cool place for a festival.
Yeah, it is. It's a great place to spend time on Saturday if you don't want to come to the festival or maybe before the festival.
Very good. So, what is happening in the microbrew business these days? We, of course, in Michigan have been touting our wines and wineries and vintners, for so long that I typically will think about the wine operations before I'll think about the microbrews, but I know they're growing rapidly in Michigan.
Yeah, and I think we've got great wine, but we truly have world-class beer and breweries. We've got a lot of breweries, and the number is growing every year, and almost every month. We have over 100 breweries now, some of them well-established for a long time, some of them very new. But the volume continues to grow and awareness continues to grow, so it's just it's like a snowball rolling downhill right now. It's just getting bigger and more fun, and I think there's still a lot of people like you say, you think of wine, you think of the wineries. I believe there are a lot of people in Michigan who haven't discovered that they live within an hour or maybe much closer to a local brewery. So there's a lot of room for us to continue to see more breweries and more beer in Michigan, and we truly believe the tagline that Michigan is the great beer state.
And it seems like these breweries all work together pretty well. They, I follow a lot of them on social media, and you see them at these beer festivals, and they all kind of seem to want to help each other succeed.
Yeah, we see a lot of that. It's a really close-knit community amongst the brewers. There are a lot of good friendships. See a lot of people willing to share thoughts and ideas and help each other out whenever they can. So it is a very close community.
Well, most wineries in Michigan are, most of them are kind of concentrated in that northwest and southwest part of the Lower Peninsula, even though there are wineries all over the state. I just drove by one in Manistee the other day, right on the shoreline in the marina area. It was great. But with the microbrews, they're really scattered out, literally all over the state.
Yeah, from Copper Harbor to Benton Harbor, Alpena, Metro Detroit area, they're everywhere, and part of that is because they're not quite so agriculturally tied. We're seeing some of the agricultural products come back to Michigan, like the hops, and barley is even kind of newer, some efforts to grow and malt barley. But because breweries aren't quite so tied to an area that can grow the product, they can be in a lot more diverse locations.
It is pretty interesting to see hops being grown in Michigan. You see those big, telephone poles, and the plant, climbing up the line there. It's a different plant to grow.
Yeah,
surely.
They're very, very beautiful, and it's exciting to see that come back as an agricultural product. And the hop producers they're still young, but they're producing some really nice hops, and they're selling everything that they can make, and it's great.
Ask you one quick question, because we're running out of time. But if there are, just a few on the newer end microbrew operations, breweries that you could recommend, can you give us a few?
Oh, I would go right to our website at mibeer.com and take a look at all of them.
Because there are a lot of them.
Yeah, there. In fact, we're even struggling to get everybody updated on the website. There have just been several that opened. There were two that opened in the Petoskey area in the last couple of months. So it's, they're opening rapidly.
Fantastic.
All over the state.
Great. Well, thank you, Scott. Scott Graham, Executive Director of the Michigan Brewers Guild. And don't forget about that Fall Beer Festival in Detroit this coming weekend. Might be some tickets still available for at least one of the days. And go to mibeer.com for more information. Of course, when you go to michigan.org, you can always find information about, just about anything there has to do with travel and leisure all throughout the state. I go to michigan.org all the time to the events section, always looking for something to do that next weekend where my wife and I can just kind of get away and forget about the stresses of the travel business as we all deal with those things. So recommend that you check it out as well. Go to michigan.org. And, Michelle mentioned social media earlier. It is amazing how many people are using social media to get information today. And the folks at Pure Michigan are very involved in the whole social media thing. So, for instance, Instagram. I know that we use Instagram a lot, and you've sent a lot of pictures and things to Instagram, haven't you?
I sure have.
Can you kind of explain quickly how that works?
Yeah, so you post a picture, you can tag it like you do in Twitter. People can look up by topic, so anyone that's got a great Pure Michigan photo, tag it with that hashtag at Pure Michigan. And we do a lot of sharing of other people's photos because people are across the state taking great photos, and we want to get those out.
Oh, and I've seen so many spectacular images that are being taken all throughout the state, and you can be a part of that as well. And the funny thing is, so often you don't have to be a pro to really get the good picture. You just have to be in the right place.
Right, and
notice it.
And these are pictures being taken on people's phones.
Amazing, it really is. So check it out today. Check out all those social media applications, and you can get to them quickly just by simply going to michigan.org. And Travel Michigan continues next, right here, where your trip begins at michigan.org.